IELTS Writing, Academic Task 1, Part 4. In this slide, we are going to discuss how to express the main idea of each body paragraph. When you planned your essay, you made notes that you can use to compare and give details. Now, using these notes, you are going to write your body paragraphs of your essay. You'll write one paragraph about each comparison. So remember, you need to write the main idea in each body paragraph. So that's your first sentence of each body paragraph. Begin each paragraph with the main idea that summarizes a comparison you are making. So below we have two main ideas, each with a focus comparison. So for example, comparison for paragraph 1 is the average daily sales of selected food items in winter, and comparison for paragraph 2 is the average daily sales of selected food items in summer, which means when you are going to write your body paragraphs, your first body paragraph is going to be only about winter time, and your body paragraph 2 is going to be summertime. So you have to compare them. So what I would suggest you to do is in your body paragraph 1 to write about only winter period of time and discuss highest number, lowest number, etc. And in body paragraph 2, compare your summer to winter and how in summer maybe some certain items were more popular than the others. So you'll compare summer to winter in your body paragraph 2. And these are our main ideas for body paragraphs. And now we're going to review one of the most important parts of the essay, supporting details. The main idea of each body paragraph is always followed by details that support it. A lot of times you can see supporting details as our examples after the main idea. Try to use your own notes about details to write statements that support the main idea. On the following slide, look at how the notes for the first comparison on the graphic have been turned into the supporting details of a paragraph. And now we are going to discuss how to put the main idea and details in one paragraph. So here I have a sample plan for you about body paragraph 1. As you see, I use my notes and I'll show you how using these notes, I wrote my body paragraph 1. So my topic here was the average daily sales of different food items in winter. And as you see, in winter is underlined because now I'm only focusing only on the winter period of time. Important details that I had was the highest number of sales, which was hot coffee, 75. Second highest number of sales, soup, 50. Next number of sales, salad and ice cream, they were about 25 each. And lowest number of sales, iced coffee, which was almost zero. And here I have sample body paragraph, main idea. So this is the first sentence of my body paragraph. And I started like this. Certain food items had much higher sales than others in the winter. So I only talk about winter, remember. So supporting details would look like this. Hot coffee had the highest number of sales with an average of 75 servings sold daily. The item with the second highest number of sales was soup, with an average of 50 servings sold daily. Salad and ice cream had average daily sales of 25 servings each, and iced coffee had the lowest number of sales with close to 0 servings sold daily. As you see, I use the information above, so I had my plan and I turned it into sentences. But remember, your body paragraph, the first sentence of your body paragraph has to begin with the main idea. So main idea, certain food items had much higher sales than others in the winter. So your body paragraph 2 is going to be only about the summer period of time. And now you see our body paragraph 2 sample plan, which is very similar to our previous slide. It's pretty much exactly the same. The only difference here is that you are comparing summer to winter time. And you're saying how summer is different compared to winter. So the plan is the same. However, our main idea starts a little bit differently. So as you see here, the sale numbers for each food items were different in the summer than what they were in the winter. So as you see here, I compared summer to winter. And then we have supporting details, the same. So you can use the words such as increased, decreased, and I'm going to read here for you. Iced coffee sales rose significantly to an average of 40 servings sold daily. The item with the second highest number of sales was ice cream, with an average of 35 servings sold daily. Sales of ice cream go up in the summer when the weather is hot. Hot coffee fell to daily sales of just 30 servings. Soup and salad had the lowest number of sales with a 25 servings sold daily on average. So as you see, you can write it like this, or if you want to, you can write it differently as well. So it also depends on your style and what kind of information you want to include. Remember that everyone writes differently. However, as long as you include the most important features and you are making meaningful comparison, it means you did a great job. And now we're going to talk about our last part of the essay, which is writing your conclusion. In the introduction, you made general statements about the comparison you plan to make. In the conclusion, you sum up the ideas you developed in your essay. And remember that your conclusion is a restatement of these ideas. Look at the following introduction and conclusion from a previous essay about the graphic. So as you remember, we had introduction that contained 2 sentences, and here they are. The bar graph shows how many servings of certain food items sold on average every day in 2 different seasons at the Vista Cafe. The average number of sales of each item changed with the season. So our conclusion restates this idea using different words by stating the most important change, or we also call it trend. So here we have, in general, the average daily sales of each food item changed. Depending on the season, certain items were more popular in the winter, but certain others were more popular in the summer. So as you see, our introduction conclusions are closely linked, and your conclusion basically repeats what was said in the introduction using different words and also showing the most important one, key change, key trend that happened throughout the time. And here you have the complete sample essay about the academic task 1. And this is about the graphic that we discussed earlier. And I showed you how to write introduction, body, paragraph, and conclusion for it. And I put all these paragraphs together, and now we have a complete essay. And here you have total number of words, 220, and I'm going to pause it here for you guys so you can take some time and read it, and I think you'll have a better idea and understand better how to write your academic task 1 essay. And now we are going to discuss our final step 3, which is checking and revising your essay. After you finish writing your essay, make sure to revise your writing. You need to save at least last 3 minutes to check your work to see if you have any grammatical mistakes or you use the same word over and over again. So go back and read your essay once again and make some corrections if you need to. And also keep in mind that even American speakers, native speakers, make some grammatical mistakes when they write and when they speak. So it's very important that you actually check your essay. And it's very important that you follow the official IELTS rubric in the next slide and consider if you need to revise your essay around these points. And definitely, you need to practice a lot before your upcoming exam because, as you know, you are only given 20 minutes and you'll be writing 150 words. So you have to make sure that you practice a lot and you feel prepared before your test. And now we are going to discuss our official IELTS rubric, and that will ensure that you know how to get a certain band score. You can follow this link that I provided on the slide, and it's going to take you to British Council website where you can see a very detailed rubric and how to get a certain score. But here I have a summary from the official IELTS rubric. It's kind of like a brief summary and what you need to do in order to get a high score. So first of all, you have to make sure you are addressing the task, which means your essay has a thesis statement and main ideas. Coherence means that your every body paragraph begins with the main idea, which is a topic sentence you had. We discussed it. And every body paragraph has supporting details, things like highest number, lowest number, and so on. Next, we have cohesion, which is an introduction, and your conclusion is restating your introduction. Transition words, these are words such as first of all, for example, in addition, finally, so make sure you include them. Lexical resource means that your vocabulary is not redundant, so you are not using the same words over and over again, and you are using different synonyms, or you are paraphrasing some words. Then spelling, of course, is very important, so make sure you practice very well before you take your test. And last important point is grammatical range and accuracy. So it means your sentences are different. You are not using only simple sentences or only compound sentences. You have 4 different types of sentences that we discussed: simple, compound, complex, and compound complex. And accuracy is that you feeling confident when you are using your vocabulary and tenses. So do not use grammar or vocabulary words that you're not sure about. It's better to keep it simple instead of making big grammatical mistakes. So that's what we have for our brief summary for the official IELTS rubric. And now we have a brief recap to the things we learned about Academic Task 1. Remember, you have only 20 minutes to complete IELTS Academic Task 1, and you need to write at least 150 words. Remember also that IELTS Academic Task 1 has 4 types of graphics, and you really need to know them because that will be very beneficial for you and show your knowledge of knowing and understanding different types of charts. So we have bar chart, line graph, table chart, and pie chart. Remember to analyze the graphic for topic, description, and points for comparison. And always ask yourself WH questions in order to identify the main features of the task. And before you begin writing, it's also very important that you understand the prompt and graphic before you begin writing an actual essay. Sometimes students become very nervous and they start writing without analyzing the topic, without understanding the topic, because they start panicking that they don't have enough time. But it's better not to finish your essay than write a completely wrong essay. So guys, make sure you read your prompt carefully, you understand your graphic, and after that you begin writing. Also, it's important that you do not copy exact words. So try to paraphrase the words in the task and use different synonyms. And, as always, be positive and smile and do your best you can.